In next week's show, in fact, Mia and I are going to announce, well, it's quite the radical change from what we've been doing here on the MiltnMia Show, but we'll get to that in due time. This week, as I said before, we have two very different sections of audio that I am happy to present to you. So, without a lot of bullshit and build-up, let me simply introduce my mentor, Demetrius Toteras, from the summer of 1991 at his estate in the foothills above Sebastopol, California. His theme, the necessity of duplicity and betrayal in modern times.
Well, watch this. Like, this was an industrialized nation, and all of a sudden it's not an industrialized nation anymore. It's something else. They calls itself now a service economy, but I mean, that's just horse shit. They're not servicing anything. Yeah. You can't even get service at the fucking Shell station. Yeah. So what's service? But what it is that there's such a layoff of people, such a changeover, a historical changeover from one thing to another, that it seems like there's a lot of redundant people laying around. So amongst these redundant people, a whole new philosophy is going to be developed. Totally. I mean, what that philosophy is going to be, what viewpoint it's going to be. I'm talking about a philosophy. Why people don't like to think it's a philosophy, it's like saying a new language will be created. And it's not a new language, it's just another possibility of another view that you can't see today. Can't see it because you can see now that the genders have learned how to have ecstasy amongst themselves without intermingling. Like women can have ecstasy just with themselves, and men can too.
Yes.
These bathhouses were just,
Oh, yeah, man.
And now women are developing their own goddamn ecstasy. And it might be now that women start thinking that they can't get AIDS between each other because of the way they would have sex. It might be, who knows? It might be another thought that here's a way to have sex and not catch AIDS. It must be that women are tapping into something in each other that they could never tap into with men. Within a woman too, I mean, for her to be involved with a man, there must be a sense of wanting to be dominated in her. Because a male is dominant to begin with. He's aggressive. His natural disposition is like that. So when she gets involved with a male, she must want to be dominated to some extent.
Yes, right.
I mean, the male gets on top of her. Right? The male is pushing her into the positions he wants.
Right, and she knows that.
Yeah, she goes along with it. It seems like she gets a great pleasure out of going along with it. Like the more desirous he is of her, the more stimulating it is to her to be wanted. I went to get a job at Pacific Bell, and the guy said, well, the guy was interviewing me, he said, well, what department do you want to work in? Work in this department, that department. I said, no, I don't, I really don't. And he says, well, what do we have then that would interest you? I said, your job. I want to sit in a chair over there and ask people, questions and shit like that. And he saw that I wanted his work. I could get aggressive. I wouldn't know how to get aggressive. Like, being aggressive is very important, and knowing how to be aggressive. Like, certain people, when they get aggressive, they look stupid. They look like they're having a tantrum. Right? The real smooth guy, when he's getting aggressive, he's got a toothpick in his fucking mouth and he's twirling it around real soft, right? Or another guy might... In the days where cigarette smoking was healthy, it lended to your personality, because you could take a hit on the smoke and, finish the guy off, right? But aggression has its own beauty to it if you know how to do it. Somebody like John Wayne was an aggressive guy. When he walked right through them, he pushed people to the side. That's an aggressive guy. But the kind of guy that they wanted me to be when I went to ask for a job is that kind of aggression they wanted me to have is, could I be duplicitous? Could I twirl betrayal about? Could I inform on my fellow workers? Would I want to come up and volunteer information that would send him to jail and put me one step further up the ladder? Told them, I'm your guy. I'm the guy you want. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be given the leash loose on me. So here I am, on the job, ready to do it. And I told the guy, who do I fuck first? Show me who you want me to fuck first and I'll fuck them. The guy says, no, that's too fast. Let's train you first, right? Let's train you and get you to where we can get you to fuck people quickly without any effort. They don't even know they've been hit.